All right, here we go. Sportsbet betting insight today. Pauly and Teddy, SBR picks. I'm at Real Sportsbet on Twitter. He's at Teddy_covers Thursday, September 6th. The NFL is back. We're on the under tonight in the Philly-Atlanta game. Thursdays will be college football. A little different this year. We're going to go rapid fire with as many games as we can. Once we get some important showdown games later in the season, we'll isolate those and we'll hit the NFL tomorrow. As always, bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. All the betting news you need to know in less than 20 minutes. A moose in Atlanta. Jesus. Braves minus 160. Led 7-1 in the eighth. Teams this year were 487-0 when leading by 6 runs entering the eighth. They blow it not once but twice. And to make matters worse, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Phillips goes deep. Braves lose.
Yeah, and all the addition of Brandon Phillips has an instant impact for Boston and for bettors with his first big hit in a Red Sox uniform coming off the bench with a pinch hit 2-run bomb after Freeman had hit the home run in the bottom of the eighth to get Atlanta back ahead again after they blew the 6-run lead. So, yeah, that was a legitimate moose. My condolences to anyone with a Brave stick in their pocket yesterday. That one, a tough one to swallow. It's bad a beat. As you mentioned, 487-0 in 2018. Well, that's now 487-1. If you took that loss, my condolences. That's a tough one.
Does anybody want to win the NL East? All 3 teams lost yesterday. And the Phillies, even though the Braves were swept, are still 3 back. Atlanta starts a big 4-game set in Arizona tonight. Bad for the books. Cardinals plus 110, went up minus 105. Bullpen shenanigans again, didn't cover the run line, but won 7-6. Bad bets. Phillies 155 up to 180, lost 2-1 in Miami. Royals plus 350 down to 270. Here comes Kluber again. Can he steal the Cy Young? They win 3-1. Kluber was fantastic. In Texas, plus 120, went off a 115 favorite. They lost 9-3. Top bottom teams, ROI, and pitchers. Let's start with teams. The Oakland A's, number 1 now, plus 33-23, Teddy. They beat Severino, who had nothing. I'm sorry. When the Yankees make the playoffs, you cannot start with Severino. You got to throw Happ. Severino was awful. Wild pitches all over the place. Fires, wins again. 2 out of 3 for the A's. Number 1 with a bullet. Slightly ahead of the Red Sox for number 1 in ROI.
Yeah, and of course, when you look at the top ROI teams, there's Oakland, who's been a monster for the better part of the last, 2.5 months. You have the Red Sox, who've been there basically all year as the best team in baseball. Number 3 on that list is Tampa. Little quiet Tampa that's never been in the pennant race, that no one's paying any attention to. They lost for me last night, but still 12-3 in their last 15 games. And oh, by the way, if the Yankees keep choking this away, maybe that last wild card spot isn't locked up yet. The Rays been a real good moneymaker for me in recent weeks, even though, like I said, there was last night's game was never in doubt. 7-0 in the first.
That was terrible.
Tampa's not rallying from that, but they've been a good bet. Of course, Colorado and Atlanta, good bets as well over the course of a long MLB campaign.
Yep, Glasnow got the 7 runs in the first inning. The kid had nothing. I had him too. But get back on tomorrow. They start a 9-game homestand where there's 17 games over 500. The Rockies checking in at number 4. How about that? They won last night. Story hit 3 home runs. They have a game and a half lead in the division, and they went 20. They are 20-2 in their last 22 home games against the Giants. Braves plus 1270 as well. Bottom ROI, no super. Look at this. If the Orioles lose tomorrow, they'll be down 50 units. Bet $100 every game on the Orioles. You're down 4,900. They lose last night in Seattle. The Royals checking in at 27.97. And then look at this. Right behind them, Teddy, the Nats and the Dodgers. The Nats are a couple games under 500, and the Dodgers, they're like $1.80 at every home game. They lose 2 out of 3 at home to the Mets.
Yeah, and it's funny when you look at these 4 teams, when you're thinking about the profiles that you want to look for perhaps next year or beyond, as we look about the process of handicapping. The bottom ROI teams every year in MLB are the bottom feeders, the teams that are, going to struggle to win 60 games, like Baltimore, like Kansas City. You cannot make money in the aggregate with bottom feeder teams in baseball. But the next tier group of teams are going to be the contenders that are disappointing or that are laying big prices. Washington, they haven't been bad this year. They've been mediocre, but they're laying a big price. The Dodgers, they can still win the division and make the playoffs for the 7th straight year, but they've been laying a big price when you have the teams with the starting pitching that attracts that minus 160, minus 180 type of price every time they're at home, and they're mediocre, those teams end up costing you a boatload of money. Any Nationals or Dodgers better this year will tell you that.
Top pitchers ROI. Mike Fiers, by far and away, number one, plus 18 units. The A's are 6-0 since they acquired him in the trade. They get the win last night. Price, number 2. Lester, Freeland, who's had a great year. ERA around 2 in Coors, which is supposed to be impossible. And then Leak checking in at number 5. The bottom happened again last night. Happy Homer Bailey Day. Reds lose again. The Reds are 1-19 when Bailey starts. The only win earlier in the season at Dodger Stadium. The only other time this happened, some pitcher with the Cleveland Spiders in 1899 or whatever. They lost 134 games. You're down 17 units betting on Bailey. Then Verlander, Fulmer, and Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, Verlander, of course, has been a price guy. But let's talk Homer Bailey for a minute. I got a tweet here. I didn't get it graphicked up, but I'm just going to read it. This is from J. Luck Haupt. Homer Bailey has the lowest run support of any NL starting pitcher. This is both in terms of runs scored per start, 2.8, and runs scored per game while he's still in the game, 1.6. Those are awful numbers, and any pitcher would have trouble winning with that support. That is all true. But you have to wonder if Cincy, every time they see Homer Bailey as a starting pitcher, they go, oh, well, we'll try again tomorrow. The effort might not be there for the Reds. We certainly saw that offensively again yesterday. Even though the Pirates didn't cover on the run line, Homer's been a pretty bad bet, taking a run and a half, just like he has been asking him to win straight up. But yesterday, at least since he got the money in that particular role. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.